I want to commend one of my friends from North Ayrshire and Arran on securing the debate. And obviously, due to time pressure, I've had to hack out most of my speech. But we know that 62% of Scots voted to remain in the European Union, and I was one of them. I didn't just vote, but I actually proactively campaigned for the Remain side. And I've always been a passionate European, and it's difficult with a German surname to be anything other than proud of my European Union citizenship. And I say that as someone who has both lived and worked in Brussels and personally benefited from the principles of free movement of people and labour. And I remain bitterly disappointed, Sir Roger, that free movement of people became a major issue during the campaign, and the EU citizens settling in the UK was weaponised, and that such xenophobic language was deployed and indeed normalised. Because for far too long in this country, we have tolerated right-wing rhetoric around immigration. Some parties have even gone so far as to put it on the side of mugs. And it has led to swathes of society viewing EU migrants as somehow being a negative thing, especially in the context of low-skilled jobs. And I think, Mr Gale, the reality is that leaving the European Union and pulling up the drawbridge is going to be deeply damaging to our economy. And I think my first frustration relates to migration, because all those EU nationals who pick our fruit, who work in our factory lines, who provide care and support in our care homes, are now shamefully being asked to pay £65 each simply to continue their lives here. Now, I think for most of us in this chamber, £65 is not a lot of money, but it is the fundamentally negative message that it sends to people, effectively asking them to resubscribe to being citizens and a part of our society. My second frustration when discussing Brexit was the complete denial about the calamitous impact of Brexit on our economy, because we know from the British government's own leaked analysis that Scotland's GDP could face a hit of 9%. We know from the Fraser-Ballender Institute that a hard Brexit is forecast to cost 80,000 jobs in Scotland. And we know from the Bank of England that Brexit has already cost constituents and households in Gordon, in Auckland, South Perthshire and in Stirling £900 per household. So that's why it's imperative that our compromise position of leaving the European Union but remaining in the single market and the customs union has to be implemented. The stark reality is that when we all walked into those polling booths on the 23rd of June 2016 to cast our votes, there was nothing absolutely hee-haw on the ballot paper about leaving the single market or the customs union. People did not vote for a Brexit that they wanted to be poorer, and that is the trajectory that I'm afraid that we're currently on. So my message to the Minister today is absolutely crystal clear. Stop listening to the Brexiteers on his backbenches and instead listen to businesses and ordinary families who stand to lose so much as a result of driving over the cliff edge of a hard Brexit. And if the British government won't listen to those warnings of a hard Brexit cliff edge, then it might well just find that Scotland has unhooked the tow bar and taken a different path with independence.
Hear, hear.